Let's try to improve the battery life on the Google Pixel 11. The first thing that you can do to improve the battery life is, of course, go to settings, and we're gonna start with the battery and charging. In here we can go to battery usage, where you can see how your battery is being used and what apps use the battery the most. Over here below we have the list, so in my case clearly this app drains the battery the most, but of course there are some other examples, and in your case you will probably find some social media apps or apps that are generally speaking constantly running in the background. You can also tap on specific days of the week that you have in here to see exactly what uses the battery the most, so you can probably figure out what you might want to, for example, use less. Or of course you can go to these apps over here and you can limit the background usage. Usually it is set to optimized anyway, but you might want to completely disable background usage for specific apps. However, you have to keep in mind that some apps actually are required to be allowed to run in the background, because this is how they operate. For example, some social media apps or maybe some texting apps, they might require you to allow them to run in the background all the time, because otherwise you will not be notified when you, let's say, receive a new message, or if something happens that you normally want to be informed about. So of course, in that case, you probably cannot really completely turn off the background usage, but if the usage is set to unrestricted, then you can consider setting it to optimized. Now, besides that, what you can also do is, of course, use the battery saver. And I'm not saying to use battery saver all the time, but you probably want to use it in a situation where you are about to run out of the battery and you cannot really charge the phone at the moment because you don't have the charger, or you just cannot charge it for some reason. So in here you can, of course, enable battery saver. It's going to toggle some things in the settings. It will probably try to turn off some of the features that are usually use the battery quite a bit. So of course they will be shut down or just changed in one way or another so that the battery can last longer. There is also the extreme battery saver, which pretty much turns off almost everything on your phone, and you have access to only some of the basic apps. And you can go to settings over here to decide which apps you want to be able to use during the extreme battery saver. In here we can also find the schedule and reminder option, so you can make your phone automatically turn on the battery saver for you. And if you want to turn it on, if you want your phone to automatically enable battery saver based on the percentage, then you can choose anything between 20 and 75%. There we go. There is also turn off at 90%, which means that if you charge your phone and if the battery saver is enabled, if the battery is charged to 90%, then the battery saver is going to be automatically disabled. There is also the adaptive battery, which of course should be enabled if you want to make sure that the battery is optimized, and there is pretty much no reason to not use this feature. So of course you can just check out if that option is enabled. Besides that, if we go to the battery health, then of course over here you can check the battery capacity. Now, if you just got your phone, if it's a new phone, then of course most likely it's going to be 100%, but after some time it is going to drop. The battery capacity is going to decrease. This is something that is inevitable and it will happen sooner or later. But of course we can do a couple of things in order to make sure that the battery capacity is going to be in a healthy state for as long as possible. For example, I can recommend you checking out these battery health tips. They are quite decent on how to, of course, keep the battery healthy. But what you can also do, and I think this is one of the most important things that you can do, is you can use the charging optimization. Now, by default, we do have charging optimization enabled, if I remember correctly, and we have the option set to adaptive charging, which is good for majority of people. And adaptive charging uses some sort of like AI, or just the phone learns how you charge and use your phone. And then, based on that information, the charging can be paused at 80%. And once the phone knows when you are about to unplug a charger, it can predict that you're about to unplug the charger from the phone. Then the battery is going to start charging from 80% all the way to 100%. So the battery is not overcharging all the time. It is kept at 80%, which is the sweet spot for batteries nowadays. And just when you are about to unplug the charger, like half an hour in advance, let's say, then of course the the battery can be charged to 100%. It might take some time for the phone to learn how to properly implement that limit and the whole adaptive charging process, but after some time the phone should be able to, of course, recognize how you charge your phone and all the routines that are related to your charging. Besides that, we have limit to 80%, which just, it is what it says, so it's very simple. You cannot really charge the battery over 80%. And I can understand that it is very limiting, but generally this is the best way to keep the battery in a healthy state. This is just how batteries are made nowadays. This is how they can be optimized. You just charge to 80% only instead of charging all the way to 100% all the time. Of course, this can be very limiting, so I can understand if many of you don't want to use it. So instead, you might want to use adaptive charging instead. But generally speaking, you should use one of these two options if you want to make sure that the battery is going to keep its capacity for as long as possible. And there is no information about charging the battery or when you should start charging battery, but I feel like this is also quite important to understand and to follow. So essentially, different brands and different manufacturers of smartphones, they usually give you like rough ideas on when you should start charging. Some companies say that it should be like 15%. Some companies say that it can be even 10%. In some cases, they say that it should be 20 or even 25%. And this is the percentage of the battery that should be like the lowest before you start charging. And while the answer on when you should start charging is not so clear, there are different information about it, and there is no clear one single answer. One thing that is for sure is the fact that you should never really drain your battery all the way to 0%. And that's just something that you should avoid at all costs. You should never really drain the battery to 0% because it actually ruins the battery. I mean, it won't happen. I mean, it won't be like anything bad for the battery if you happen to do that like once or twice in a while. Like from time to time, if you drop to 0%, maybe that's not going to like completely destroy the battery. But if you keep doing that regularly, then I think you can expect the battery to drop the battery capacity quite easily and quite rapidly. So this is something that you should avoid doing. Always try to charge your phone when it's like around 20%. When you drop to 20%, this is, I think, the best time to start charging the phone. And then you should be able to keep the battery in a healthy state for as long as possible, which is, of course, great in the long run. All right, so now that we have talked about the battery health and keeping the battery in a healthy state for as long as possible, you can also go to battery diagnostics. So if you, for example, have any charging issues or stuff like that, then you can try to use these options to see if anything is actually detected. And here we also have battery draining too quickly, so of course you can use that. And here we can see some suggestions on what you can do to change in settings to increase the battery life. So for example, here we can find settings that impact battery life. So we have the dark theme. So of course, dark theme uses less battery than the light theme. We have live wallpapers. Naturally, they require more resources to run properly. Same goes with third-party apps that allow you to use animated wallpapers or video wallpapers. They are draining the battery quite a bit, so you want to get rid of them. And for example, if you don't use adaptive screen brightness, this can also drain the battery quite a bit, because you should always use as little screen brightness as possible, of course, as long as it is comfortable to use, because the more screen brightness you use, the more battery you use for that as well. So be sure to check out battery diagnostics here to see if there's anything that you can improve. Of course, you don't have to implement every single idea, every single thing that is mentioned here in the video or even listed over there in the battery diagnostics. But even if you choose a couple of things, I'm pretty sure you might be able to increase and improve the battery life even slightly. All right, so besides battery settings, of course, I also mentioned some of the display settings. So if you go to display and touch, here are a couple of things that have impact on the battery. So once again, the adaptive brightness and the brightness level of the screen. Always on a display also has an impact on the battery, of course. Screen timeout and both of these options over here, if you have them enabled, they are going to use more battery, so you might want to turn it off. And as for the screen timeout, you probably want to stick with 15 or 30 seconds. Usually we don't need much more than that. Dark theme uses less battery, so it is definitely recommended to use dark theme. And if you don't like dark theme, you can try to use the scheduled option or schedule option. So the dark theme can be automatically enabled and disabled at the selected time. And besides that, you should also be able to find smooth display. Now, this option is actually disabled by default on this phone, which is quite unique because usually smartphones have a 120 Hz refresh rate enabled by default. Here, it's quite opposite. But yeah, if you use smooth display, then naturally the phone is going to use more battery for that. Of course, it looks very much better when you do use 120 Hz. All these animations and visuals are much smoother. So personally, I would not give up on 120 Hz. I would actually prefer to use it all the time, even if it means that I will have less battery. And this is of course up to personal preferences, and like I said, it's up to you which options you actually decide to change or disable or use. So yeah. This is another thing that has an impact on the battery. Now, besides that, I can also recommend you going to location. And if you go to location services over here, you can find Wi-Fi and Bluetooth scanning. And you can turn these two options off. It is not really required to have these options enabled. And if there is anything that requires you to have these Wi-Fi or Bluetooth scanning enabled, then you will be informed about it. So you will also have an option to quickly jump to these settings, turn it on, and to just move on with whatever you have been doing. But generally speaking, you want to keep these two options disabled because they can actually use a little bit of battery. So it's just better to, of course, not use them whenever you don't need to use them. And besides that, you can also go to, let me actually try to find it, here to security and privacy. And then we can go to more security and privacy. And here you should be able to find usage and diagnostics. You can turn this option off because it actually uses a little bit of battery as well. So turning it off might be actually quite helpful, and it might save the battery a little bit. Besides that, here in settings, we can also go to network and internet, and then go to the internet option. We want to scroll down in here and go to network preferences, and you can turn off this option over here, turn on Wi-Fi automatically. Yeah, it's just going to use the battery a little bit in order to try to detect if you are actually near your Wi-Fi pretty much all the time. So of course it is better to just turn this option off if you have it enabled. And keep in mind that if you share your internet with the hotspot, then the battery is draining a little bit as well. So you don't want to keep your hotspot enabled all the time. If no one is connected to your hotspot, you want to turn it off. And the last thing that I want to mention, although it might sound silly for some of you, I want to mention some of these connectivity features like Wi-Fi, mobile data, Bluetooth. There's also NFC and location, of course, and probably something more which I just forgot about. But what I'm trying to say is that if you don't use any of these options, like for example, right now I don't have any Bluetooth device connected to my phone, so that means that there is no need for me to have Bluetooth enabled. I can just shut down Bluetooth, and of course, whenever I need to use it, whenever I want to connect anything via Bluetooth, then of course I can turn it back on. I'm not saying to not use it at all, but I'm saying to turn off these options which you actually don't use at a given moment. If you are outside of your home, turn off Wi-Fi. And whenever you come back home, of course, turn it back on and use Wi-Fi normally. That is very simple, I think, and very straightforward. And that is pretty much all that we can do, or at least all of these major things that we can do, most important things that we can do to improve the battery life. And in case you need some more guides for Google Pixel 11, then you can check out my channel. Leave a like and subscribe.